Hello friends and welcome back to Busy Girl Budgets. My name is Mallory and I live in New Mexico with my husband and our 2 dogs. On this channel we utilize the cash envelope system, and today we're going to be doing a budget with me. So if you're interested in all things money or savings related, then please stick around. Well, hello friends and welcome back again. I thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to be doing another budget with me video, and for this week the amount that we're going to be budgeting is $1,050. So I'm going to write that at the top. And this was for the pay date of December 20th. All right, so a little refresher, if you guys are new here, we do not cash stuff for bills on this channel or cash plan for bills. This $1,050 that I'm stuffing is after we have accounted for insurance, taxes have come out, retirement, FSA, as well as all of our bills needed for the next 2 to 3 weeks. We are about a month ahead on our bills currently, but I still just go ahead and leave whatever bills I need coming up in the account. By one way that I got a month ahead, differently than maybe some other creators that you've seen, is that when we have a magic month, meaning 3 pay periods in a month, I still set aside money for bills that week. I don't just cash up that full paycheck. Sometimes I will make like a large payment on something, like I'll make an extra payment on my car, I'll make a debt payment or something like that during that week. But I generally always try to set aside the majority of our bills still, and that is how we've gotten a month ahead without having to have like a month ahead envelope, which that works for a lot of people as well. But that's just what worked for us. So going into this, we are only going to be budgeting our weekly spending, so my wallet, and then my sinking funds and savings challenges. So the amount, again, that we're working with is $1,050. This was a week where my husband and I were both paid, so we do have a larger amount to work with. And let's get right into it. Starting out, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and write FF in my emergency fund category, and that just means that it's currently fully funded at $1,000. I do obviously want to get that amount higher, but I am going to be working on some other categories moving forward to try to build them up, specifically my dog's emergency fund and my car maintenance fund. The other thing I need to do is add down here, I have some savings challenges that I'm going to be doing, and I will show them to you guys really quickly. I did show this in one of my videos recently, I think not too long ago whenever I ordered this, but I'm going to be working on this for 2025, and I'm not necessarily going to like try to do it monthly. I'm just going to try to do it as fast as I can, basically. So I'm going to start it now, even though it is December. And so each of these, it's a monthly one, and there's just, for some reason, 5 bubbles, even though there's only 4 weeks in most months, but anyway. So I'm going to be starting to work on that, and then I am going to also restart the quick 250 challenge from Taylor at A Little of It All. I just finished this and I want to restart it. It was a very easy challenge for me and I enjoyed it. It wasn't difficult, and then before I knew it, I had an extra $250, so we love that. So that's what we're going to be working on. I'm going to write those in at the bottom of my screen here. So I'm going to just use the same line since I only have one left. So I'm just going to do January. I'll leave it green. And quick 250. So over here, I will have 2 numbers separated by a dash. All right. Getting into my wallet. So we did go grocery shopping last week because if you caught my unstuffing video, unfortunately we did not end up going to Mexico. Some emergencies came up and my husband and I had to cancel, which was a bummer, but also it just was not the right time for us to go and would have been stressful. So I did actually grocery shop this week, despite me saying in my last videos that I was not going to because I was going to be out of town, and that was not the case. So I don't really need a whole lot. I'm going to budget $70. I will need some fresh things. I will need milk. And inevitably, like towards the end of the week, we start running out of a few things. And I always put my foot in my mouth by saying, I don't really need anything. And then I need a million things. So I'm going to put 70 in groceries. Dining out is going to get the usual 50. My fun money is going to get 30. Miscellaneous is going to get 20. And my husband's fun money is going to get 30. So let's add that up. This amount has been working pretty well for us, so we're just kind of sticking with that. We really do not eat out often at all. And yeah, so that's 200 that would be going into my wallet. So then that would mean that going forward, let's take the 1050 minus the 200, means I have 850 to work with going forward. I always just write this here on the side so that I can kind of keep track. Hope you guys can see all of this. I am trying a different camera angle that's more overhead than angled. Hopefully that's better. Okay, so next what we're going to do is go into my high priority binder and see what we can make happen in here. At this point, we don't really have any trips that we're saving up for, or anything that needs to have money put towards it like very quickly, aside from we are really trying to work on the car maintenance fund and the dog's emergency fund. And of course, we're always putting money into Michigan. If you're new here, my family lives there and my parents are older and we go there a lot. And we usually take a big trip every summer. And we're there for about 6 weeks. This year might be longer. So we have this envelope to prepare for like car maintenance, extra car maintenance that we do before we make that big trip because it's about 1,500 miles there and back. And then also we stop in a hotel, gas, food we need on the way there and back, and then just extra spending for while we're there, which inevitably happens. So emergency fund is fully funded right now at $1,000. That is in a high yield savings account with Ally. Next is my dog's emergency fund. So they currently have $300. I am going to put $50 in there this week. My car repair envelope has $100. It did have $2,200. If you missed my unstuffing, we finally did the maintenance thing on my husband's car, and I was just so grateful that I actually had the full amount in here, and I didn't have to dip into my emergency fund at all, and it came out of this, and I'm very happy with how that played out. But we're going to continue to stuff this. My car needs an oil change, and inevitably there's always car maintenance things that come up. So I want to build that up quite a bit. So I'm going to add another $100 in car repair. Michigan has 110, and this is for our summer trip. We are actually going to go up there in January to help my parents, but we're just going to fly. I have the Southwest Companion Pass. And so basically that means my husband flies free with me, and I have a lot of airline points. So it doesn't cost me anything to fly to Michigan. And then it doesn't cost me anything to stay there because we stay with my parents. So this envelope is not for that trip. It is for our summer trip. So I'm going to be adding, let's see, I want to add like a pretty good chunk today towards that. Let's do, I'm going to make it even at 150, so that means I need to add 40. I have been just adding 10 a week, so 40 is a big step from there. Anniversary has 80, let's round that out to 100, so we'll put 20. Vacation is empty. We do not have any plans for a vacation currently, but I want to start saving because inevitably we will go on one. And like, I want to camp this year. We have a travel trailer. We have a very nice travel trailer, and we didn't get to use it at all last year. We use it kind of as our guest house because we have it set up in our driveway, fully hooked up with sewer, water, electric, everything. Since our house is small, any guests that come, we just set them up in there and they have their own space, and it works out really nicely. But we didn't actually get to use it at all this year ourselves. So I do want to do that for sure in 2025. So I'm going to put $20 in here to just get that started. And then Disney, I've just been adding 10, so we're just going to do that. It has 60 right now. So let's add up what we've got so far in our high priority binder. So we're going to do 50 into my dog's emergency fund, 100 into car repair, 40 into Michigan, 20 into anniversary, 20 into vacation, and 10 into Disney for a total of 240. All right, and then we had 850 left moving forward, and we're going to take away the 240, excuse me. So now we have 610 to work with as we continue to budget. Okay, we're going to move that back, and we're going to grab our next binder, which is my short-term binder. And I think we are going to be adding more money into this binder this week than my high priority binder. But there are some things I need to kind of bulk up. So firstly being my dog's envelope. So right now they have 35, and I do need to buy dog food for Melbourne. That's my baby boy. And I think 35, let's see, if I add 115, I'll be at 150. All right, so let me add 115 side here. Whoops. Gotta change my color. Okay, 115 into pups, and that'll make this envelope have 150. This I mostly use for their normal spending, like their dog food. I try to have enough in there for their meds, but I don't always, so I have to dip into their emergency fund. But this is like their everyday, or I don't spend money on them every day, but you know what I mean, their day-to-day spending. So do that. Household, I'm going to start stuffing more, and that's because I'm kind of going to use this envelope also as kind of like a mini house projects envelope. So I do want to put more in here, and I'm going to put 40 this week. That'll give it 60. Costco has $5. I'm going to put 95 so that it has 100. Beauty has 70. I was supposed to have a haircut last week, but it was the day that my dad went into the hospital, and I ended up having to cancel. And so I haven't actually gotten my haircut yet. So there's still money in here. I'm going to continue to add money. I'm going to put 20. That'll give it, you know what, actually I'm going to do 30, so then I'll have 100. So change that. I did just color my hair, so that's all set for a little while. Toiletries, as you guys know, I'm trying to super scale back on the amount of toiletries that I'm purchasing and use up what I already have, which I have been doing very well with, I might add. And so I'm just going to put 10 in here. My husband got the things that he was out of last week. My no-buy toiletries thing does not apply to him. And he does not buy in excess of what he needs anyway, so he doesn't even need to be included in this. I'm the one that has the problem with that. Okay, and let me just run it back a second, because when I said no buy, as in not buying any new products, I can restock on the products that I use regularly that I'm out of if I don't have another item to replace it. So, for instance, last week I ran completely out of dry shampoo, and I did go buy some for myself, but I did not have any left, none to be used. All right, self-care has 45. Let's do 25 in there. And then health has 10. We'll just put another 10. My FSA resets in a few days, and I will not need to be pulling from this, like, hardly at all. So, all right, let's add this up. So we have 115 in pups, 40 in household, 95 in Costco, 30 in toiletries. Oh, sorry, 30 in beauty, 10 in toiletries, 25 in self-care, and 10 in health. 325. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take that 610 that's in purple that we had left, subtract the 325, and we have 285 moving forward. And that probably seems like a lot at this point, and it kind of is, but we are going to be putting a good amount into some of my saving challenges, which is why I wanted to why I wanted to have extra left over. So before I even go into my low priority binder, we're actually going to look at my savings challenge binder and see what I want to get done in there so that I can budget for that before I do my low priority. Okay. Okay, so we're going to start with January. Got this on Temu, by the way. It was nothing expensive or that special, but it does the job. So what I'm going to do, technically this doesn't start till January. I'm going to go ahead and start it, especially since all of these months have 5 bubbles, even though there's only 4 weeks. So at least once a month I'm going to have to do 2 bubbles. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I'm not necessarily going to wait to start February until February. Like as soon as I finish this, I'm just going to keep going and try to knock out this whole binder as soon as I can. So what we're going to do is pick 2 of these today. So we're going to do 40. So that's going to be 80. And let's see. So over here, I'm going to write 80 for my January challenge. And then for my quick 250, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Let's do 50 and knock out a whole row. So that would be 130 that we're putting here. Okay. All right. So let's do the math on that. We had 285. We're going to take away 130, which means we have 155 to put into my low priority binder, which is a pretty large amount. A lot more than I would normally stuff. So I'm like, But no, actually, I am going to do that because there's actually a concert I really want to go to, but we might have to travel for it to Denver. It's not until May, but it's for Ben Rector. I don't know if any of you guys listen to him, but I love all of his music. All of his music is like about love, and I just love it all. For our anniversary party, I sing. I don't know if I've mentioned that on here, but I do sing. My dad was a musician and owned a music store and, plays every instrument, and our family is just very musical. And, anyway, so I actually recorded myself singing a song that my husband had told me that made him think of me. And so we danced to it at our, 10-year anniversary party, and it was a surprise. He didn't know that I had done that, but Ben Rector is the singer of the song, and it's called Love Like This, and it's beautiful if you guys want to look it up. But I love all his music. His lyrics are great. Love it. He's going to be playing in Denver. And since I have Companion Pass, the flights from Albuquerque to Denver are like virtually nothing when it comes to, for me anyway, because I have so many points, is basically free. So we're thinking about just flying up there for like a quick weekend trip. But again, that's like 6 months from now. It's the end of May, 5 months from now. So we'll see. But I do want to save up for the tickets because I definitely want to go see him. So we're going to work with 155. So I'm going to go ahead and just write that in on this side because I know that that's how much we need to put over here. And all right, so let's grab the binder. And I'm going to be kind of keeping track with my calculator off to the side. You guys probably won't be able to see it just because I don't have room for everything on the screen. But coffee, we're going to go ahead and just do the usual $5 because that's been working and we don't need anything at the moment. So we'll take away 5 on my calculator, which means we have 150 left. Entertainment has 15. Let's put 85 in there and that'll give us 100. So then we have 65 left. Clothing has 50 And I'm trying not to buy clothes. My husband just got some clothes. His mom actually very nicely like bought him a bunch of clothes from Dillard's in Arizona because they were there during Black Friday, and my husband loves Dillard's and loves the clothes there, but they're so expensive. But she got like a ton of stuff for really cheap, and she picked out some really good stuff. So I think is good for a little while. So I'm only going to put $10 into clothing because, again, we're trying not to spend on that, especially me. I do not need a single item. So 10 in clothing, that'll give it 60. Shopping is empty, and I actually use shopping for gifts. So I definitely want to replenish this and my gift envelope. So I'm going to go 30 into shopping. And then I'm going to go 20 into gifts because that's also empty. And then the remaining 5, I'm going to put into hobbies. So that'll give it 40. And that is it for my binders. All right, I'm going to add all of this up really quickly, but don't worry, I'm going to speed it up so you guys don't have to watch me do it again. All right, I got it all added up, and it all does add up to $1,050, which was the amount that we had budgeted, or the amount that we had to work with, excuse me. So, very, very happy about that. I love when it all comes out correctly. So, if you guys made it to the end of this video and you enjoyed watching, don't forget to leave this video a thumbs up. Drop me a comment. If you made it to the end, leave me a pineapple emoji in the comments. And also, do not forget to subscribe if you guys enjoyed watching. I do put out 3 videos a week. Monday is unstuffing, Wednesday is budget with me, and Sunday afternoon is my cash stuffing. I am going to be working on also a video of my 2025 goals, and a lot of those are financially related. I don't know how to say what I'm saying, but you guys know what I mean. Related to my finances, and others are just maybe personal goals that I have. So I'm going to share some of those with you guys. And I also want to create a video about how to get started with cash stuffing. I've never actually made a video like that on my channel, but I think that it would be helpful for a lot of people. It can be overwhelming. For me, I feel like it came naturally, but I really like numbers. I like math, but not everybody, I realize, like has that feeling and doesn't know where to start. So I'm going to work on creating maybe a mock budget to share with you guys. So look out for that coming soon. Otherwise, that wraps up today's budget with me. I will have my cash stuffing out on Sunday, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. Thanks for watching. Bye.